They didn't have the hunger. They didn't have the desire. But I'll be honest, when it came to you, I didn't see any of those issues. So that's why I always used to fight for you. But then when I would go into whichever club it was and speaking to a head of recruitment, they'd always say, yeah, but you know, family's a bit too involved. Family's wants too much control. And it's like, but what's that got to do with his ability?
Aziz. I'm currently 20 years old, turning 21 in September. I want to tell a story on how it's tough to grow up as an Asian player in a football industry. This is where I grew up. This is my turf, man. This is my turf. This is where I used to kick, man. Good memories here. They used to call me Messi, the Asian Messi. I started at Worcester Park and I was playing Saturday League, but I used to play once a week, and then I kind of enjoyed it, so Mom got me into Chelsea development when I was a bit older, so that was about 3 days a week. So I used to train 3 days a week in nights, and then I used to play with Worcester Park on Saturdays, so I was quite busy and with football from quite a young age. And then after Chelsea development, I went on to play for my school really until I got picked up, and I kept playing with Worcester Park and Kings Park, and then we changed to Kings Park Royals. After that I got picked up by Reading in a showcase game, and then from there really it kind of clicked. I was there for 2 seasons, but I was unsigned. They kept me for 2 seasons unsigned. I was on trial for 2 seasons, and at under 15s they had how many teams they had? They had 4 teams. So 2 teams would play on a Saturday, 2 teams would play on a Sunday. Ridiculous. And from then I went to Southampton. I got another showcase I got picked up from. I was at the development for a couple months until we played an in-house game against the academy, and I basically ripped it up. I was playing midfield at the time, number 8, and I was balling it out. I was just playing for fun. Got 2 assists and a goal, and then from there they were watching me from the development centre. Development centre was based in Shepherd's Bush. I used to go there Thursday nights. Every day after school, my mum found something for me to do football-wise. So I'd either be here every day after school, or I'll be training somewhere else for a team. But after Southampton, I got a 6-week trial for Southampton. My first game was Charlton. I remember my first game was Charlton. Batted it up. I scored a goal, and then the manager, I remember so clearly. The manager at half-time, from the day I entered that academy, I'm humble myself, but from the day I entered that academy, I thought I was the best player there. So that first game that we had against Charlton, I bagged. I was playing midfield, I still bagged. And at half-time, the coach we was losing. I think we was losing, but we should have done better than we was doing. And then the coach was just getting onto the players, and he was just like, there's 2 guys that are doing well, some other player and a guy on trial. That just made me feel like from that day, from that second, I was just like, yeah, this is where I'm meant to be. And I got signed. It was a happy feeling for me and my family, because we had a game against Fulham and the coach came down and he brought all the kit for me, and it was just like my first time getting full kit for academy. Is unbelievable. But from there it was just like that 6 weeks was the best 6 weeks of my life. But from there onwards it was just like where do I go from here now? Like, it was just one of them ones where in my mindset at under 16s I felt that I'm already in. I'm already in this club and I didn't have the mentality that I want to go further. They made me feel I was in. At first day, the manager, I could name it the manager, Terry Moore. That guy he was a legend. He had me there for 2 seasons. I guarantee you, scholar times, he would have signed me, 100%. At 16s, there was a manager came in, didn't like him. I got on with him, but it was just, he was expecting too much from everyone. My family insisted that I was to have halal food and no dogs and no pets, and they couldn't provide that, so I was traveling Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays and playing games on Saturdays. But to be honest, I was still balling. I was still playing well. Like it didn't really affect me. It happened for a reason. So 16s, the whole season went down, and we was on the last stages of basically them deciding on whether we're going to get a scholar or not, and I think it was December times before everyone was going back for Christmas, and that's when it was deciding, and then they extended my contract, and which was I guess I was grateful, but it was just like I was the best player there. Like I used to play 10, I used to play 8, I used to play 4, I used to play 11, I used to play 7. Like sometimes I used to play 9. Like what more do you want from me? Do you know what I mean? But like me fitting as an Asian player, me fitting into a club, it's just like it's tough in a way. Like because you have, not in a rude way, but you have at a club you have the whites, hang around with the whites, and you have the blacks. It was me in the middle and in between, and it was just like who do I chill with? Like, and even so, like when you're going to other academy games, yeah, like you don't see other Asian players. Like you don't come across other Asian football players. Like when you're at academies, like it's not right. In the end, they didn't help me out after. They didn't give me exit trials. They had a link with Yeovil Town. They didn't send me Yeovil Town. They didn't give me exit trials. It was me stuck in the same situation, so I was back to square one again. And the time that they actually released me was a time for GCSEs. So I had football was my life. So even in secondary school, from primary school to secondary school, football was my life. Till I was young, till now, football was my life. But they was deciding, and then basically 3 months before my GCSEs, it was just like, you're not gonna get a scholar. So and then after I didn't get a scholar, it was kind of, I was back to stage one. I was the best there. I'm humble, but I was the best.
So then what happened? Where did you go?
I was basically back at school again. Back at school for a whole 3 months straight. Some bad memories, fam.
Yeah.